Hey guys, this is gonna be a quick Spitfire video again. Yesterday there was a pretty big storm. It was quick and the sun came up again, but I had to drive during the rain, so I had to install my top. And I remember that I promised someone, unfortunately I don't remember who was it, but I promised someone that I was gonna put a video up with the soft top installation. I couldn't take a video yesterday because it was pretty rushed. I had to do it fast, but I figured I'm gonna do it today. And also because I noticed that the top needs some repairs again, because it's a really old top. So I'm gonna do installation video. I'm gonna show you what the problems are, and then we're gonna try to repair the soft top again one more time, because if you remember, I thought for last winter that I was gonna make one new top myself, but with so many projects around, I'm not sure I'm gonna get around to do that even this winter. But anyways, that doesn't really matter because I can still use this one. It's pretty reliable. It doesn't look great, but to be honest, I don't really care because I use it maybe 2-3 times a year. At least it keeps me dry. Okay, I'm sorry about the mess in my trunk, but it is what it is, right? I wanted to show you here how I store the frame. It goes around the gas tank, and actually you can put it in and out without even taking anything out of the trunk. So this is how it comes out. Carefully so we don't damage the paint. Okay, then we have on both sides we have those slots that we have to insert the frame inside. Okay, and then you see how it springs. It springs up and down, you see, so we have to put it in the lower position and lock it. And this goes and opens like that, but for now we're gonna keep it down like this. It's easier to install the top this way. In the beginning I was installing first the front end and then the rear end, but that was a mistake because I figured that it's much easier to install the rear end first. So here underneath you can see there's a piece of metal inside and there's slots in the vinyl. So these can hook up here in these hooks. This is the first thing to do. Then I snap the buttons because that centers it. You see it needs to be centered. Okay, once the buttons are snapped, we can pull and hook these little hooks here. This, and snap this button as well. Now usually this button is hidden, I believe, inside, but because mine was ripped, I had to pull it through. But on your top, if it's a new top, this button might not be seen from this side, but that's okay, you still have it here. So snap this button, do the same on the other side, and only then I start putting there's a piece of metal inside here too, and it needs to go inside this slot. This piece of metal needs to be one piece, so that's one of the problems that I have to fix today, because it's rusted and the vinyl is ripped and it became 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 separate pieces. But for now, this is how I put it on. Because it's loose, it's still loose here, so now it's still easy to insert the metal inside the slot. I'm not sure if this is the right way, that's the way I install it, that's how I find it easiest to work on it. Okay, and now remember this bow here, now I can pull it back in and and that makes it tight. And now I can release those here, so the spring will push it up as tight as possible. This goes here. It's all ripped, you know, but it's fine. And that's it. There's a strap inside that you have to strap around the bow, you know, but I never use it actually. And that's about it. It is installed. It takes me like literally a minute and a half or 2 minutes to install it, so it's not that bad. In the beginning it was hard. So let's walk around now and let's see what the problems are. So if you remember, and if you've seen my old videos, I did a lot of repairs on it. So it was ripped here, it was ripped here. Somebody else changed those strips here. The glass was all yellow, so I changed it with a new one. And there are many repairs that I've done on it, like even here. This I repaired. But now my main concern is here. I repaired it before, but my piece of vinyl underneath wasn't big enough. So now I'm gonna put a piece here and stitch it again. And I want to do something for this piece of metal, because you see it's ripping and coming out. So I want to take this piece of metal out and replace it for the whole length, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to do it in one piece or two pieces, or I don't know how many pieces. Or maybe these are 3 separate pieces. Yeah, because I won't be able to fold it, you know. So I think maybe there are 1, 2 in the center and 3. Maybe there are 3 pieces. Okay, so let me take it off and we'll start repairing it. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. You see the piece of metal inside? It's rusted and it's breaking. Actually, let me see how it folds. Yeah, you know what? These must be 3 separate pieces. Like right here. Yeah, so it can fold like that. And this can fold like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to take everything apart. And when I take it apart, I'll show you what I'm planning to do. Now, let's find a way to see what we can use inside. Something hardened. It's pretty springy, you see? It comes back. Okay, we have here this snapped, used benzol blade, and I figured that if we grind the teeth, we might use this. It's springy, you know? The only thing is, this little curve. So we're gonna do. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut a piece long from one mark to another, which is here. We need to match it with this shape, you see? It's a little bit curvy. It works. I bent it a little, so I'm gonna just get prepared a little bit better with pliers and stuff. And yep, That's perfect for here, so we just have to grind the teeth. And now, since we can do that, I think we're gonna replace the other two pieces as well, the end pieces. So two of these, the long one. So now we have to drill holes. We'll see how easy that's gonna be. We have to drill holes so we can rivet them to the vinyl. So when they are inside, they don't move. They don't move this way, and also they don't twist inside the vinyl, because they will tend to twist. The vinyl is gonna tend to twist. I'm gonna use these rivets, and we're gonna just hammer them because I don't have the die set to rivet them actually, so we're gonna just hammer them in. Alright, I'm gonna use this material, which is not vinyl. We made a Citroen soft top out of it, and I think that's what I'm gonna use. I don't have too much, this is just cut off piece, but it is wide enough, so I'm gonna cut two strips. So it is a little bit longer than what we need, and these are our marks for where the piece needs to end, so I'm gonna transfer them here. So something like that. Okay, so piece of metal is inside, and now we're gonna stitch it. Okay. And now before we start assembling it, I wanna first repair this here. So I'm just gonna put a piece of material inside, like this, and I'm gonna stitch on top. Again, I don't care what it looks like, I care to be reliable and to keep me dry. Plus I was in the jeans industry for 16 years, and we were looking for these kinds of effects, you know. We were ripping and repairing jeans on purpose, so it is okay. Now I want to reinforce here, or maybe I should just get rid of 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna make it a little bit tighter, but I think 1/4 of an inch is fine. Just gonna cut it off. Okay, and now we have to join these together like this, but first I'm gonna cut off the extra material here. I'm gonna leave again 1/4 of an inch only after my stitch. And now we're gonna flip it. And now you remember, this is my mark where the fold needs to be. So So we did it the wrong way. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Oh. Okay, we fixed our mistake. I had to take apart everything and make it again, but obviously this needs to match our curve, right? So let's start again. So this is our fault, this is where we're going, and I made it a little bit longer, so now we're going to shorten it. We're just gonna attach it like this, going in the same stitches. Okay, so far so good. This is there and it can hook, but now we have to finish nicely this end. Now I wish I could position the camera on the other side of the sewing machine, but it's against the wall, so I can't. But the idea is, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna stitch this in the same stitch here. We're gonna stitch this, then we're gonna flip it like this and tuck it under like this, and at the end it's gonna look something like this, but as small as possible. We're gonna try to make it. I hope you get the idea. Now we're going to flip it around and tuck it under and make another stitch on top. But we have to make sure that it is really tight around the seam allowance inside, so it is nice and small here. Okay, it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's almost there. And here the ends are not perfect, but hey, I'm gonna be dry inside. So now the only thing that remains is to cut this off. We're gonna cut this seam allowance close to our stitch. And that's it. So let's test fit it on the car. Not that easy as expected. Before it was much easier. Then we'll try the old way to do the front first and then the back. Okay, now the front is in, but let's see how we're going to deal with the back. Okay, so we're obviously back to installing the soft top first at the front and then at the back, but it is a little bit harder, but it's still workable. And the most important thing is now that our all front leading edge is in a much better shape than before, right? It's not the best, but it's much better. And this hole is now fixed. So even though it wasn't leaking before, now it's gonna be much safer, right? So we will see. Maybe I'm gonna figure out another way of installing it, but for now, there is a way. That's the most important part. There is a way of installing it, and it's not that hard. So again, guys, thanks for watching and commenting and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video.